From hello, what's going on, girl? We under your underarms, girl.
You were on the charger.
Well,
All right, so real quick before they get to the part that I want to do this, there's a specific part where she's talking about godchildren. That's the focus here. Then we'll get to it.
Trina, Mississippi, 39, Virgo, teacher, public speaker, makeup artist, no kids, only wants to meet her husband. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. What kind of qualities should your husband have?
Gentleman, generous, family oriented, Christian. That's
Now let's break all of them down. What does generous mean to you?
not stingy, kind, a giver. That's generous.
Okay.
That shows generosity. You don't want nobody. Wouldn't want anybody with their hand closed. And you're supposed to be in a loving union.
Okay. What about money? Now, how much money you got to make to be with you, Katrina?
Well, I would say we need to finish putting these two godchildren through college. So we have a son that's a junior at Morehouse. We have a daughter that's a senior at Southern. So we need to slide them on out of college, and then live our best life. So being able to financially take care of the home life, the things that need to be taken care of. So somewhere near or above the 100,000 mark is.
Okay, so before we even get to that specific part, there's this thing that the people who react to Kendra G regularly point out, and it's absolutely super accurate. The idea that y'all take voluntarily take on so much shit, then go, well, this is all the shit that I've taken on financially. So when you get here, it's just your job now. Like that's what. But then you also say you want a leader. That shit is confusing. Well, not confusing, but like somewhat contradictory, because that's, you don't just hand the leadership and say your goddamn job now, but like that's not how that you're being the leader at that point, right? But as you heard specifically, that part I wanted to talk about, which is she said we need to finish taking care of these two god kids. We got one here, one there, so we need to take care of all that stuff at home and all that, and then slide them out. And people were focusing specifically on that. So I think women heard something totally different, because men, when you hear, we're going to go to the comment section. When you see the back and forth, you'll understand what I'm saying. Now I'm going to go to the actual post because I don't want this to move real quick. So hold on. All right, so we're at the comment section. Hopefully it doesn't move on me. But as you see, literally the very first one, she said she's literally taking care of children who aren't hers. Yeah, instead of applauding her, but that's not the one I want. We'll start here anyway. She's literally taking care of children who aren't hers, yet instead of applauding her for her generosity, y'all find a way to peg her as a gold digger. Like how? Some of you clearly don't deserve nice things. Now, this is just somebody who wants to talk shit, because I went through the comments. I didn't go through all 1,000 of them, but I didn't see anybody say gold digger. So if you saw one and went, oh my God, I have to, like, you're jumping the gun there and just want to talk shit. And this person says, I watched this live and was flabbergasted at the amount of comments knocking her for raising two kids that are not hers. She also clarified that she's not asking for the man to financially take care of them. I find it sad that in our black community, we can't applaud another for raising children, whether ours biologically or not. You rather they become ward of the state and abused, it seems. That's why we can never progress as one. The comments debating blackness and culture is also disgusting. I wish some of you discernment, because God knows y'all need it. Can't be happy for those kids being taken care of. Sad as fuck. Okay, this has nothing to do with the kids specifically. That's one problem. Like, she want to do that. That is her. Good job on her. She wants to help raise others. She doesn't have her own kids, so she's helping out. She got the bread. I think she said she makes like $100,000 or something like that. Good for her. Good for that whole transaction over there. Awesome. The thing people were criticizing, or at least the dudes were, was, wait a minute. So your acceptance of a man in your life is based on the responsibility you took on that he will now have to help cover with kids that you voluntarily took on. Like that, the sound of that is like, what? And then do you know how expensive like all that shit is? Let's say he's not even like on the hook for tuition, right? Let's say it's just all the other shit. Books, if they have to travel, if they have to I've never been to a university, so I'm not sure all the shit. But even just in junior college, you got a whole lot, all the like the items you need for class. That's a lot of fucking money. So if you got 2 more years of Morehouse, and I think she said Southern, what? That's a lot of goddamn money. Which is again why she even herself asked for like I think it was like 150 grand. So you can't say, oh, she clarified that she wasn't saying take care of them, but she's still saying you need 150 grand because that's what it's taking currently right now for the responsibility I personally myself took on. And then in a general sense, to also use this as an example, the idea, like, here's the thing. The idea that you're taking your responsibilities now, and the man, let's say he just makes half of what you make. Dude, that's still... I think she makes 150. So let's say he makes 75. That's still 225 in the household. You can't figure that out. Your life will substantially take a step back with 225 in the house. No, you're just greedy. And that's also one of the reasons you can't get ahead. Remember that shit T.I. said? Oh, we make the least amount of money, but we spend the most. That's fucking stupid. And this idea that because y'all make a certain amount, if a dude makes less than you, again, and I always say, let's say it's half. You still got a lot of money in that fucking house. If you can't make that work, that is another reason why we can't get ahead. How many of y'all are ready to like, not only get married, because we both rank, I think, 1 and 2 at the bottom. You want to move ahead? All right, start getting married early and staying married even if you're uncomfortable. How many of y'all want to do that? Stop it. We always, it's just about, anytime you have these conversations, it always just depends on the guy just giving y'all a bunch of shit. Just let it go. Like she said, you can't be in a loving union with a close, yeah, you can. Yes, the fuck you can. I am saving us from making a bunch of stupid decisions because if I open my hand, you'll take all the shit and just do dumb shit with it all the time. So absolutely loving you and Capital close in. What else did she say? Oh, and she said, I kind of already spoke on this a little bit, but I'm gonna still do it anyway. Which said, we can't applaud people for raising kids, whether they're biologically or not. All right, one thing that is kind of related, dude's been told for a while, just take care of the kid anyway. What's wrong? Like, we literally have a back and forth right now about dating and marrying single moms. Like stop. Like, stop. You want to applaud people about something that got to do with kids? How about you have kids and they're not bastard children? Now, I'm not talking about extinction. I'm focused on the people having their witnesses and then speaking their intentions in front of the witnesses. That's my thing when it comes to marriage. If you don't want to do the whole license and all that, you still have to have that part specifically for me, because I think that's what's the important part in the first place. But yeah, like I said, those two in tandem, marrying young, having kids, just those two people. I had a back and forth with dude on Facebook, and I might tie it into this. But he was trying to say that on another Kendra G Live, it's not somehow the dude was upholding the black family structure, even though he had a baby mama. And it's like, no, dude. Like, anyway, but back to this. Like I said, get married young, have kids with just those two people, stay married, even if you're uncomfortable, and then that next generation, if you execute your plan properly, should be able to hit the ground running. But we don't want to do that. We just want to focus on fun, despite always saying we're at the bottom. Well, stop having so much goddamn fun then until you fix the problem. Like, that's stupid. If you get a flat tire, it will be kind of dumb to still try to drag race or do some joyride or some stupid shit on a flat tire. Stop, do the work, go get the proper tire off, since because you had a donut in there, go get the proper tire put on, and then now you can start joyriding it. You see? But no, we only get ahead by having bastard children and then having other people help us with the bastard children. That's how everybody gets ahead. You see? You see? I think some of you never learned the meaning of legal godchildren. If something happens to the parents and you are legally declaring to provide for them, which means she's responsible and loyal. She's very, very classy and intelligent. There are plenty of well-paid, intelligent men who will choose her. How the fuck do you know that? How do you know that? Now, I'm not saying that they won't. I have no clue. Again, like I said, I think she's in a field where those dudes are around, so it's more likely for her. And then she's not ugly, so it's still more likely for her. But none of us know. Maybe. But this whole God church and thing, if she's clarified, as the lady said earlier, which I saw live and she kind of did, that he doesn't have to take care of them like they live in a house with them. But that kind of means that nothing happened to their parents. She's just helping because they're the godchildren. Like you're completely ignoring that part and just trying to say, well, if we show up, we should just fucking help. Y'all still gotta, before y'all start telling us that we should just show up and help, maybe have better situations to show up to. That shit crazy. That apparently y'all can have whatever the fuck going on, and we hey, show up, help out, and pitch in. Like, come the fuck on. And then you don't have to make anything easier for me. I can't ask for more shit for putting up with this. She let that help me put my godchildren through college. I'm not gonna read those. I feel like I understand what she is saying. Life goes over your head way too much. Do women think we are dumb when they say that the man won't have to be financially responsible for this kids? I think these. We all know how this works. If a man and woman get together, there are kids involved that aren't his. We will be paying. He will be paying. And well, yeah, like I agree. Don't stop with the oh, I have kids, even if they're God kids, and nobody's gonna look at you when my kids are needing of something. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Some of y'all try to come on here and make the case that we can literally live in a house together and then I never have to take care of these kids. Any dude that believes that is literally just trying to lay up and live off you. Which, kind of a good sign if dudes are saying, yeah, no deal. That means they're actually considering what they would have to do. But apparently some of y'all want some dude who will believe that all he has to do is exist. Which is weird since that whole argument of men need to do more than just exist after they come home from work. Those two arguments existing simultaneously is fucking outrageous. I don't even know how to understand it. This new generation of women literally just panhandlers, homeless people with makeup on. If they're not asking for shit straight up, they drop bacon through pictures, quotes, or telling people they problems. Okay, the way you worded that, it made it not relevant. But I, like everybody else, I think I see your point. She's cute, classy, reasonable, and pretty. There can be no complaints. Well, like I thought. It wasn't explained correctly, but I understand what she meant. Okay. No, you don't. No, you don't. You think she meant, oh, you just have to do a lot of shit for them. But that ain't what we got from that. We got, hey, you got to understand that all this money I'm putting up, that's your job now. That's what we heard. That's what the fuck we heard. And I don't think we're wrong. She needs to reevaluate her expectations. You're asking for a husband to come into your life and provide for someone else's children that's not even your own. Okay, here's what would have helped that, right? Because some dudes will say, "Oh, fuck it, I'll do it. She's cute enough." I think she should have said like, I know she had where his income needs to be, but she should have specified how much money she is expecting this dude to cough up. That would have been a good ass thing that Kendra should have asked, because it really does sound, it doesn't give us enough. Because now all we can do is speculate off of how much he would have to spend. Like, we don't even know. Like, how much do you spend helping? 30 grand a year, 15 grand a year, 20 grand a year? That would have been an excellent question. I hope I see her comment on this. I'm gonna ask her, how much do you help every year? Because that would determine something. Because it sounds like she spent buku amounts of money on these kids. Why would he meet you and automatically start paying for your godchildren education? And I'm not reading those replies. Black people today, we are no longer a community. We used to help each other when there was no CPS. She's being upfront that whomever comes into her life, she's taking on the role of helping two kids that need the help. If you don't want to be a part of it, that's okay. But it's also okay for her to do what she's doing. Nobody's saying she can't. People have a problem. People are criticizing the idea of some dude has to come in and then now this is his bill. That is aggravating. I have this mortgage now. It's your job. I didn't pick this fucking house. I have this car note now. It's your job. I didn't pick this fucking car. I get my nails done this often. It's your job. What? Or you cut that in half. Oh my God, just tell me you're broke. But the leader makes decisions like this. Remember? Nope. The leader just opens his hand, apparently. Right? Okay, Virgo sis. Let them know what's important to you. How about letting him take care of you in the home and you fund the kids' education? This woman is a keeper, fellas. She's a keeper because she's taking care of other people's kids. That doesn't automatically make her a keeper, but that's not me saying it automatically disqualifies her. Because again, if let's say she meets that guy, they both make 150 grand. She gets what she wants, right? He comes in. It would behoove this guy to go, okay, let's look at these numbers. They don't know how to catch the bus. Where are y'all located? Is it a subway there? Well, just down south, probably not. Like, literally, it would make sense if this guy came in and said, yeah, we shaving some costs off. You can still help him, but we're shaving costs. It ain't just about to be you hand me some shit just so you can start handing them shit. Like this idea that dudes have no authority over the responsibility you're giving them, it's fucking crazy. I don't understand that. I can't wrap my head around that. How are y'all ignoring that? Just come in and take the responsibility and don't change shit? Man, if we move in together in my shit, I'm going, okay, my download speeds, I think we can actually get by with cutting that shit in half. Like, immediately. Like, we're not just going to just combine two spending habits and then, let's see what happens. That's not happening. That's stupid. That's why black people can't get ahead. Fuck. Girl, bye. Ain't no man responsible for your godchildren education. Some of these women be tripping. Who the fuck is that? Y'all so shallow. She basically said she signed up for this so the person she is with will have to understand that that's a priority of hers. And as a husband, they are equally yoked, so it falls on him as well. Long term, she is a very beautiful lady. Hope you find soup. We know that. We're saying that's a bad deal. Is essentially what we're saying. That is essentially what we're saying. I can't keep repeating that same line. Let's move on. It's not even good enough to take care of your own family. Now we got to take care of other people's. Oh my God, this is long as hell. Like, she's saying shit I agree with, but I ain't reading all that. 39, probably never been married, delusional as fuck, communication is terrible. I don't think so. I agree with the women as that goes. She's actually very well spoken if you watch the entire thing. High risk pregnancy, calling a man stingy with his own money is insane. It's a hard pass for any man with any real substance. I don't know about a hard pass, but I could definitely understand the I could definitely understand a guy asking, excuse me. I could definitely understand a guy asking for like some clarification when he you know if when he inboxes her. But it's like if I think if he hears what we think is what she's really saying after he inboxes her, I think then it'll become a hard pass. But again, if and I'm not one of those people who believe that a dude if he's her age, 40, making six figures, whatever, he's automatically going to look past her. It's a chance. But I think if after some conversation, she really does mean you gotta foot the bill for like $30-something thousand a year for people that ain't got shit to do with you, I think then at that point it will be a hard pass. I think at that point it will. All right, let's get two more. Oh my God. Nope. I'm not understanding. I have 5 grandchildren and never would expect a man to financially provide for them. If she wants him to be good with kids, just say that. That was very under. Okay. So she wants her man to fund her godchildren through college. Some of these women aren't serious. Do they want husbands or sponsors? She let that one slip and then tried to change her tune. Okay, so I'm going to use that to say this. I don't think I've actually been very clear on this before, which is kind of shocking with watching this. A lot of y'all come off as not wanting a spouse or husband, but more so wanting a girlfriend. And when I say that, I mean like when y'all say something which is very common, like he needs to love to travel, right? Not even just he can be okay with it or like work with you, but no, he needs to love it and do it just as much as you do and pay that fucking bill. It's like, do you want a man or like a girlfriend with a dick? Because it's like most people, I like to say most men, but most people don't love to travel, right? They'll do it on some fun shit, but most people don't love to travel. But specifically men who typically travel a lot, like look at the YouTube internet space. Those dudes are traveling usually for women. They usually aren't just traveling like, I'd like to see rocks that are on other continents. Like that's usually not a guy thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not typical. It's not. So when y'all be saying this shit, it's like you really asking for like 3% of people who exist on planet Earth when you put all this shit together. But I'm gonna go to that thing, that guy I told y'all about, and finish off with that. Oh my God! So that notification I got earlier was this lady, and she does the typical thing, and it's just aggravating. That ladies, it's aggravating when y'all resort to just trying to belittle somebody. This is literally the equivalent to, oh, you don't want to talk to me? Fuck you then. You ain't ready for no real man. Like this is equivalent to that, and it's fucking trash. She said, baby, I remember I asked her, well, actually I did before I started recording, but I asked her like, can you like quote exactly what she said? Because I think men and women are coming from two different points of view, so heard it differently. That's what I asked her, essentially. Not verbatim, but that's what I asked her. Like, can you quote what you heard so I can see if men and women are coming from two different things? And then she typed all this, and then it seems like she's just trying to either insult me or insult the men who disagree. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, this is the internet. Baby, I'm not doing all that, and it isn't my fight. All I know is women have the right to have whatever standards they want the right man will fulfill it. Just because some men can't afford to do anything beyond paycheck to paycheck doesn't mean there aren't men that can. If a man can't do, then cool, pass on her and move on. But sitting in the comments cackling at what a woman says she's looking for is goofy behavior. I don't care if a man comes on here and says he's looking for a goat. If I'm not a goat, I'm just going to scroll past. That's bullshit, because you could have scrolled past literally all the dudes that commented and ignored it, but you didn't. Because you're a human. Humans observe things and go, I like that, or nah, that's bullshit, and here's why. You're human. So ladies, this idea of human beings are supposed to see something they think is either wrong or a little off and just go, whatever. But yet, if y'all going through some shit on the street with either a mugger or your flat tire or any of that shit, you don't want us to go, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a police officer. Nah. But you do want to acknowledge you are human, nigga. Help, right? But when it comes to shit that makes y'all a little aggravated, just keep scrolling past. No, we're human. Damn. And then, so let's go back over one by one. She says, first of all, she says it isn't her fight. You're fighting by responding, smartass. I don't understand people like this. This is the same person who, if you say something, if you go back, she'll go back and forth with you, and then she'll go, I think I'm just going to block you because I don't want to go back and forth. Like, you've been doing it for 10 minutes. This is that type of person. This says, all I know is women have the right to have whatever standards they want. Ladies, y'all got to stop calling preference and standards. Those are two different things. Those are two different things. 150 grand when literally ever, it's literally a preference. That's not a standard. That's a preference. Having a job or having home skills, whatever type of partner you want, obviously women always want the job. That's a standard. That's a standard. That's other than that, that's a preference. Oh, and I say a preference because you're actually someone who can provide a luxury lifestyle. Remember, she said, after the kids, live our best life. So her preference is luxury. A lot of it. That's not a standard. All right. But yeah, yes, you do. You can have whatever standard you want. Just like, for example, if a dude says, I want a big booty dime piece that look good, you know what I'm saying? Like, take care of yourself and shit. That wouldn't be a standard. That wouldn't be a standard. The standard would be, don't be a fat ass. That would be a standard. Big booty would be a preference. I know standard and preference, look, I understand a lot of this have a very, very thin line. So I kind of want to sometimes work with y'all, but y'all just overuse standard by a ridiculous margin. That shit crazy how often y'all try to overuse that or misplace that word. That's terrible. And then says the right man will fulfill it. Now here's the problem with that. On this very show, Kendra G, so many women call in. There's piss in the pool, the dating pool. Women on podcasts. Ain't shit out here. These men are trash. But somehow, there's always a quality man for every single woman that comes on here and asks for this goofy shit. There's always one, right? But at the same time, there are no good men. At the same time, men aren't financially attractive. A lot of different researches, papers, and all that shit said just a few years ago. But at the same time, there's a man for every woman who wants a six-figure earner when that's cotton literally every chick that calls this show. That's a little contradictory. But of course, because you want to talk your shit, this is the narrative, right? All right. Just because some man can't afford to do anything beyond paycheck to paycheck, have y'all looked up anything? It's Americans in general, but also women too are asking for a whole bunch of shit from the government to be done, whether it's canceling school debt, lowering your rent costs, lowering your food costs, and all this shit. All this, everybody, including women, is asking for all this deflation and shit. But yet, somehow, y'all get to get on here and say just because you're paycheck to paycheck. Sounds like everybody. Generally speaking, sounds like everybody. But again, because you want to talk your shit, this is where we are. This is what we're going with. Cool. If a man can't do, then cool, pass. Move on. Cool, pass on her and move on. But sitting in the comments, cackling at what a woman says she's looking for is goofy behavior. Okay. Oops. These poses aren't goofy behavior. Showing people who don't know you all this shit isn't goofy behavior. We can classify a lot of shit as goofy behavior all day. Oh, it looks like a nice date night. That might be her brother. Is that a BBL? No way she got a BBL. That's not hers. But we're going to go back to, like I said, that got sidetracked. So here it is. He wants to protect the black family structure, can't knock it. And Axe doesn't have a baby mama, because he does. Now, if you forgot, this is relevant because the lady in the comment section on Instagram said, on the other post, said that this is why black people can never move forward. And this guy says that a guy who has a baby mama is protecting the black family structure. Here's my thing. Because he also makes a case somewhere along the lines of, you know, if a guy is, like he says here, he's still making a commitment to the black community by wanting to marry a black woman. That's all that matters. Something tells me she's the reason he didn't propose. He was mature enough not to air the business on the internet. Here's my problem. When that's your bar, you don't have any integrity. You don't have any structure. You don't care about really any order, because the reason he didn't propose, just like I would say to women, yo, you before the baby. What the fuck is so hard about that? Before the baby. So when people are just out fucking around, having the kids, you can't now say that, oh, he's trying to protect the black family structure. No. You want to protect it, go back to your baby mama. Go back to her. Because this is not what that is. This is you trying to salvage. You're not even trying to salvage your situation. You just want another one. That's like wrecking one car and saying, I want to drive a smart car because I care about the road. Like, dude, you already wrecked one. Like, you're a reckless driver. Like, that was a bad analogy, but you get my point. You get it. And this is the one that really annoyed the hell out of me. He says, one baby mama ain't that bad. Like I said, the way he was speaking highly of black women in the video, you can tell his goal was to marry the first one. He's not out here just being reckless. And let's be honest, you don't excuse me, you don't see a lot of black men these days talking about their love for a black woman out loud like he just did. And when you consider that only 1 out of every 4 black women are getting married, that should explain why I say he's committed to protecting the black family structure. Oh my God. You want to know who else spoke loudly for black women and also married one? Derrick Jackson. Did you see your bar and how it's like fucking low and stupid? That this means nothing. How many dudes have you seen, whether on Facebook, Instagram, internet, wherever the fuck, speak very highly of black women and still don't have a black wife? I've seen two people speak highly of black women who married black women. One was Derek Jackson, one was white. Like, yo, like, and this is my thing. This is focused towards black women. Like, at this point, like, how many times are you going to hear people simply say shit and then you rock with them now? Like, that's a cheap ass bar. It's a low bar, but I guess that's cheap itself is the proper way to say that. It's kind of cheap. So you can't keep telling me, and then you even said at the bottom, only 1 out of 4 really get married. It's probably because, like you, they hear shit and go, deserve a round of applause. Nobody walked the walk, though. Nobody. Again, your best example is Derek Jackson, and that dude got caught for cheating. And then apparently his wife, I didn't follow her, I just heard people talking about it. Apparently his wife was down there having a nervous breakdown because of the shit that they all went through. So your best example of what you just pointed out is a dude who, sure, married a black woman after the baby, and then seems like it was only just for the image. And then when it was like, when it became okay enough, just let it go. And got an instant thought. This can't be the bar. This cannot be the bar. Like, yeah, I'm not pro-black, but I know when something's wrong and stupid. The way people who claim to want black excellence and black, Ebony K. Williams or black excellence, is real black excellence to, forego having a child with a man you got married to, but instead to just, go in and get the dejections, become a single mom voluntarily, and then, maybe you just figure it out later. Oh my God. How the fuck on earth is that even remotely black excellence? Listen, I don't know how many times I can say this when I respond to or make videos like this, but if you actually want like some type of order or structure and all that shit, you have to be consistent. You don't have to be me with your like zero tolerance for, this type of stuff. You gotta kind of be close though. You have to be real fucking close. You cannot in one breath say, or in one move say you're gonna have bastard children, but it's all cool if y'all just co-parent. If you can't figure out the home together, what the fuck makes you think that co-parent is just gonna be easy? I don't get that. I don't get how people really be, whether it's on the internet or in real life, saying to themselves or to other people, why is my baby mom, baby daddy acting like this? This shit should just be so simple. Why we can't blah, 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 blah. It's like, if you couldn't make y'all work, why the fuck did you think you can make less than y'all work, but +1 with the baby? Or maybe even 2 or 3. Y'all see how stupid that is? You couldn't have a home together. But if he adds a baby, another girl, you add, or she adds another dude, then it becomes easier. You gotta be retarded to think that that's easy, like that will work, like easily, like come the fuck on. You gotta know that does nothing become harder. But he was dedicated. He was dedicated to motherfucking sticking to that. So, like everybody else is. So this, and I'm trying to sign off with trying to summarize this up, but I'm losing it. But and all in all, apparently, because even Dr. Mark Johnson, the example, because I heard he had 2 baby mamas. So apparently, black excellence is not really having any structure, but always be willing to clean up the mess. That's That's black excellence. That's the definition of black excellence. Just clean up the mess. No structure, just clean up the mess. That's our slogan for black people. No structure, just clean up the mess. Be right, not positive. I'm out.